Alright, guess what? It's Nick Dutch here yet again. I just wanted to discuss something which some people of all kinds of persuasions have difficulties with. Sorry I'm using this particular camera. Obviously the imagery isn't as good as my other one. But there was a sound issue with the other one, so I'm using this one. Alright, the concept of objective reality. Some things exist, alright? We can sense them with our senses of touch, hearing, smell, if a thing has got a smell, you know, taste if it's got a taste. Alright, it's an object. We know it is here, our senses can prove it is here, more or less without reasonable doubt. Okay? Now, if I take this object, which we can tell has objective existence, namely, you know, it's a real solid object existing in the natural world, and we were to hide it somewhere. This is just a sweetie box, okay? So now we can't see the object. Number one, just because we can't see it, does that mean to say the thing does not exist? No. On top of that, you have evidence, because you have seen me, take the object and hide it in the box. Alright, now unless I was a great stage magician and I had, you know, I palmed the object and hidden it up my sleeve or down my jumper or whatever, you will be able to say, probably without reasonable doubt, that the object is in the box. On top of that, again with your senses, you've got the occasional clues, namely the sound it makes when I rattle this object, that there is something inside it, and you can say that there is sufficient evidence to say that this object has been put inside this box. Now, this is where things get a little more interesting, or possibly more philosophical. Now, let's say we take the same box, but without the original object in it. There are some people who would actually say that if I can visualize the object being inside the box, then there is objective reality that that object is inside the box. Alright? Come on, with me, try and visualize it inside the box. And I'll count from 3 to 1, then we'll have a look inside the box and see whether it's there. 3, 2, 1. No. The object is not inside the box. Alright? Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is because some people have a problem with the concept of what is objective reality. For some people, and you know, this is quite a scary thing, I think. For some people, they feel that just visualizing something or just having a sensation in the mind is demonstration of objective reality. Now, I have done a video which mentioned the idea of, is hallucination actually perception? Because if, let's say, I had the object, I put it in a box, and in a meditative state or in an altered state of consciousness somehow, I'd picked up this particular box and I detected something about it, namely its noise it makes, its weight, and I hallucinated that there is something inside it. Because of my familiarity with the object, maybe its weight, its dimensions and all the rest of that, I might be able, you know, some part of my subconscious mind might give me a hallucination that the object is inside the box. But we then got to think about what is it that made me hallucinate that the object was inside the box. Alright? Was it astral energies given off by the object? Alright? It might be, we don't actually know. Or is it because there's some sensory familiarity with the object? I would say it's because there's some sensory familiarity with the object. But we can't jump to the conclusion that just because I had a hallucination that there was something in the box doesn't mean to say that there was something in the box. We've got to be able to challenge our own perceptions. There are some people who, within the New Age community, and I find this really, really scary, alright, would say that because a hypothetical individual could meditate on the logo of the flying spaghetti monster, okay? I'm sure you know what that looks like. Let me just quickly remind you. There we go. That, you know, just because someone can actually meditate on that particular symbol, that is objective, hard and fast proof that the flying spaghetti monster is a real, objectively existing entity. This is something that I've got an issue with. Now, when a person is doing a hypnotic experience and they want it to be very effective, they can, if they're clever enough, be able to hoodwink themselves temporarily into thinking that what they're visualizing is real, because that makes the experience much more immersive, much more powerful. And that's, that's the skill of a really good neurolinguistic programmer, as well as a person who's good at auto-hypnosis. All right? But when you're in this very powerful experience, doesn't mean to say that anything you experience has objective reality. Not necessarily. It is an unknown, or something which is very unlikely. So what we've got to do is to be able to separate in our own minds, which some people can't do, the difference between a hallucination which could possibly be interesting or could possibly be indicative of something, and something which is proof of hard and fast evidence. Yes, it is true that if the object was put in a box and the box was buried somewhere many, many miles away, and I had received no knowledge of the box or the object at all throughout my entire life, I would have no knowledge of it, and to me, therefore, it wouldn't exist. But I would be able to conceptualize a thing existing outside of the sphere of my immediate environment. Therefore, hypothetically, a box somewhere with a thing inside it could possibly exist. But I would not be able to say that it would be certainty, and it would certainly be wrong for me to turn around and say that the object itself exists because I visualized it. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that I'm an experimental occultist, alright? And the closest definition that you could, or closest term which you could use to define me would probably be agnostic. I still don't feel that fits me perfectly, but we'll call me an agnostic for the moment, okay? So if I was to do a demonology ritual, namely a powerful, immersive psychological experience in which I am acting as an individual who is visualizing in a very, very powerful way with the help of words and invocations and incense and candles that there is a demon in front of me. Does that mean to say that that demon has objective reality? No. Not at all. It will be a bloody fun experience, I'll tell you that for nothing. For me anyway. But it's not indicative of objective reality. But strange experiences can happen under those circumstances. And trying to have more strange experiences is basically one of the most important goals of the experimental occultist, realistically speaking. Okay? Just wanted to clear that up. Good fortune, God bless, God and or goddess and or none of the above bless. Great and glorious, you be famous one motherfucking day, Nick Dutch signing out.